in the home of Paul and Dolores. I said it right before, and Ceynowa. Yeah. And Paul's agreed to speak with us about his experiences in the war and the service. So Paul, thank you very much.
Right.
Really appreciate it.
Glad to do it.
So I always like to get a little bit of an idea what people were doing before the war came along. Can you give us a little bit of an idea?
Well, I was in high school, and one of the strangest realizations came to bear awful quick. I was a senior in high school, and then we had December 7th, 1941. And I go to school the next day on a Monday, and everybody is so glum because their whole future is right in front of them. War. And it was really, for a young guy, I think I was 17 or 18, the realization of what I was confronted with is really a very strange feeling, and I always remember that, how strange that was, What a funny feeling you got.
Everything changed.
And being that young, you try to put everything together and you have a hard time comprehending the severity of this whole international war, world war. The severity of it, that was really, I always remember that. And I must have looked so glum. One guy said, "What are you worried about, Paul?" I said, "I got plenty."
Got plenty. Yeah, well, you were probably, you said a lot of other people were, but I've talked to people that kind of heard about it and it didn't impact them that much. You were more savvy, probably. You got what it meant.
I believe I loved some of my subjects, like social studies. That covered the war efforts, and I remember still we came out with a P-40 airplane. We thought, boy, there's a hell of an airplane. Yeah, it was nothing compared to what the Japs had or the Germans had. Nothing. It was nothing, but the best thing we had at the time.
Yeah,
and all that sort of thing. Then of course, later on in the year we had the Battle of Midway, and the Marines' first offensive was Guadalcanal. Our first offensive of the whole war was Guadalcanal, and then the Marine Raiders landed on Macon Island, which is something nobody's ever heard about, I guess.
Oh, I have, but yeah.
Macon Island, yeah.
Yes.
And they lost, or they were just there about 8 or 9 hours, and when they supposed to meet back at this place at 3 o'clock in the morning, and 9 of them didn't show up. And they waited and waited and waited. They had to go. They came on submarines, those great big giant submarines. They had to go back out to the submarine, and they left them. And the Japs recaptured the island and took those 9 prisoners, and they took them to Kwajalein. And we didn't know this until after the war. All 9 of them were beheaded. All 9. Those 9 Marines. Very unusual. But that was a big Japanese radio station for the Navy, Japanese Navy. And that's why they raided it and knocked out that whole communication center.
Was that what that was about?
That was about, yeah.
Oh.
So they temporarily disrupted the whole
propaganda
system.
And system.
The system
communication.
of Japanese naval communication.
Okay.
Radio was mostly radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They disrupted that very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that was before Midway even.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, where you were in high school in Perham then?
In Perham, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you know Mary Himmelgarn then?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, because she would have been the person that inducted people into the service or
Mary
whatever.
Stromberg. Her maiden name was
Stromberg.
Yeah, I just saw her last Wednesday.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
She's cool. I liked her. Yeah, we did a little project.
Dolores mentioned her.
Okay.
Something about, don't you think about how many men you committed to the United States military? Not really, she said. But she committed all of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Committed all of them.
We did a project about women and war and how war has affected women's lives.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she was one of the people I got to interview. And
Oh, sure.
And she's really nice. In fact, I'm interviewing her brother soon, I think, too.
Oh, Jack Stromberg?
Yeah, I think it's Jack, yeah.
He lives on Little Pine, he got a place on Little Pine there.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But otherwise, he's in North Dakota all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Jack Stromberg, yeah, I know him.
Okay, so you're, how old, 17 when Pearl Harbor happened, or 18, did you say? How old were you?
Actually, I think I was 18, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, 18.
So you're in high school.
Or
When
was
did
I
you?
17? Born September 8th, 1924.
24, September, yeah, you would have probably just turned 18, probably,
Probably just turned
24
18.
to 41.
September of 41.
Okay. When did you hear about Pearl Harbor? Did you hear about it on Sunday?
On the radio.
Yeah.
We were listening to the Chicago Bears Washington Redskins football game. We listened to that football every Sunday. And they broke into the game and told us that Pearl Harbor had been attacked. That was like maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30 on Sunday.
Yep.
That's when we first heard about it. And my dad, he was just ecstatic when he heard that. He just, oh, God. He realized what
Yeah.
the seriousness of it.
Ecstatic, or just, you mean,
Worried.
Yeah,
Worried.
yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, you
saw
got it. Yeah.
the severity of the whole
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
And of course, then I grasped into that.
Yes.
And boy, it was just earth-shaking. It just kind of spoiled our whole day. We just couldn't but search for news about that. Into the evening, you know, just kept getting bits and bits and more and more. Then we had 2 boys from Perm. They're still in Arizona, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. George
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
Rasmussen and Joey Schwidowski.
Exactly. The VFW is named for them.
Named that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just realized what you're saying. Yeah, exactly.
I knew both of them.
Did you really?
They
Well,
were
yeah, I
older
suppose
than I was. They went in the Navy about 39 or 40,
Okay.
those 2 guys.
Okay.
They went in together for big buddies.
Yep.
Big buddies. Yeah.
Now, did you have any brothers and sisters at home?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have one brother that died. He was in the Navy. And I have a younger brother, much younger. He's on there?
Yeah,
right
standing
there.
by the lake sign there. Yeah.
20 years younger.
Yeah. But now the older one that died, did he die while in the service?
No,
No.
he died about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, cancer.
Now, was he affected by Pearl Harbor? Was he drafted or anything?
Yeah, he went in the Navy. He went
Okay.
in the Navy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He was in the Philippines. Of course, like most Navy guys, some of them have combat, but not that many.
Right. It's more of a. Yeah.
More of a technical stuff and whatnot, you know.
Yeah, a little more distant from the actual front line
Yeah.
type thing. Yes.
Most of them are not. Actually, one statistic that the U.S. Army came out with, here about 8 or 9 years ago,
Uh-huh.
they gave a statistic of the ratio of men who actually saw combat. In World War II, 1 out of 4 actually saw combat. In Korean War, 1 out of 9 actually saw combat. In Vietnam, 1 out of 11 actually saw combat. See, that puts it in the better perspective.
I've never heard
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You say, you know, so World War II, 75% that you talk to will not have ever seen any combat.
Yes. Yeah, I've talked to
A
many
lot
that
of
have not.
BS about it.
Yes.
They were. Oh,
Sure.
this and that.
Sure.
It's all BS.
Wow. No, that really is an interesting and
Yeah,
this-
interesting. I never forgot it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have kept the clipping in the, or I think I saw it in the newspaper. Yeah.
Okay. And to
Put out
see
there.
how
Put out that race. Of course, in the Marines it was I would say maybe 1 out of 4 didn't see combat.
Yeah, there you go. Sure.
Or less. I don't know what it was. I know when I went in, when they formed the 5th Marine Division, they took all the drill instructors from Parris Island, put them in the 5th Marine Division. They cleaned out all the offices and put women Marines in there.
Uh-huh.
BAMS, you know what BAM stands for?
I don't think I do.
Broad Ass Marine.
No wonder I didn't know.
Yeah, that's
Now I do.
that's what they
Oh,
kick
that's
out
funny.
at. But I mean, they put women. They try to see that every Marine gets to be in a combat officer.
Right.
Or something.
Right.
In his
Okay.
Marine Corps career.
Now, when you heard on the radio, what was your mother's reaction? Do you remember?
Well, it's very serious concern. Very serious concern.
Because you must have realized
Like
it
women,
affected
yeah,
both
like
sons.
2 boys.
Yeah.
She realized all that. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, but my dad was a World War I veteran, so he understood it very concisely right then.
Very directly. Yep.
Yeah, he was very much concerned about it.
Safe to say that the rest of the day was just
Yeah. Kind of blasé. Yeah.
people in shock
We
almost.
did continue on with the football game, but it was kind of a dull circumstance, you know. Yeah.
Almost like you're numbly listening
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. It's a very, 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 very important.
A watershed
happening.
event.
Yeah, very important.
When you went to school the next day, was anything formally said about it by staff or teachers or principals or anyone that you recall?
Yeah. Well, our principal, we had a principal. He wasn't there when Pearl Harbor took place. But prior to that, even when I was a junior, when we went out on the football field, he was a first lieutenant in World War I. And we had broomsticks, and we were doing bayonet practice on the football field. Bayonet practice. With broomsticks. That's back. That was crazy. He was certain that we would be in a war sooner or later. We weren't then,
Yes.
but he was just certain we were going to be in a war. And he had to get us mentally prepared for it and all that. His name was Art Molander. M-O-L-L-A-N-D, or Art Molander, yeah.
Do you think that helped prepare you in some way?
Oh, I don't know. It kind of alerted us to the importance of it all. Instead of being a teenage, well, who cares? It kind of put the serious note on it.
That's interesting.
That sounds great. Yeah, he did. He was very much pointed toward kind of getting us mentally prepared for that and all that. Yeah. And he's so proud to have been a lieutenant in the Army. Oh, he was so proud of that. He taught all the mathematics. And he'd tell us that if you want to be a foot slugger, a private first class, or something like that, he says, okay, don't learn this. You want to be something, you better learn this mathematics here. Yeah, that's what he said. He kind of pushed us. I just thought of that. Yeah. But I think the social studies, that subject, I don't even know whether they even have that now, you know? I wonder if they even have it. But they could do so much more to bring the young people into the interest in the government affairs and stuff like that. if they taught more
Yeah.
social studies. You know, about whether it be Social Security or labor unions or military or spending in the Pentagon or whatever it is, you know, all that stuff.
But the only thing that matters now is that you have a cell phone, so when you're walking in the mall, you can talk to your friends.
I know.
I mean, got to keep perspective here, Paul.
I know. Cell phone stuff irritates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
In a car.
Yeah.
I see them all the time.
Now, did they have any kind of an assembly though, or anything at school
Oh, yeah.
about? Yeah. Okay.
One big assembly room on the third floor. That's where we had to be there at 8 o'clock. And this militaristic principle, you better be there. And I got there every morning at 3 minutes to 8. And when 8 o'clock struck, we sang, God bless America. Yeah. It really kind of taught us patriotism. Right there. I always remember that. Every morning. And God bless America. For 2 years. Even before Pearl Harbor, we said God bless America. Yeah. So, maybe, I think as I remember now, for a little town, Perham had a lot of killed in action. I believe in the Perham, the whole surrounding area, you know, Otter Tail, Dent, Richville, Evergreen, Corliss, or Wolf Lake, and Butler. I believe it was 42. I don't know why that number sticks in my mind. I think there were 42 killed in action. Okay. World War II. See, when the war broke out, we had, see, this is another thing that brought us full focus into war. We had 2 National Guard divisions that guys from around Perham and New York Mills belonged to. And I can't think of their numbers. There's 32nd and 34th or something like that. National Guard divisions, and they trained at Camp Ripley every summer. And one of them went to North Africa, and the other division went to the Philippines. And that's where Tony Sickey was in that one.
Sure.
Yeah. And the one that went to North Africa, the National Guard division, had more combat time than any division in the history of the U.S. Army.
Wow.
One of those National Guard divisions.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's.
those guys, some of those older guys should be able to tell you that in that Perham VFW. They sure ought to.
Yeah.
But I remember that part of it. Oh yeah, I've got this World War II. Golly sakes. I'll show it to you.
Okay. What's that?
A World War II newspaper that they put out in 1995.
Oh yeah, I think I have that. The paper kind of reduplicated it, and
Yeah.
then had rundown of people's pictures and names and all.
exactly.
Yes, yes.
A big, thick,
Yep.
maybe
Yep.
Perham Enterprise. You can still get it from.
Right. Yep. Yep. I've got one of those.
Yeah,
Now I
I've
know
got
what you
one.
mean. Yep.
Yeah. I'm in there too.
You are.
Pretty big time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, neat.
yeah. Because I started writing this stuff. I like to write things.
Now, the day after Pearl Harbor, that Monday morning, though, did they call all the students together to talk about that at all, or was it business as usual?
Mostly business as usual. I think at Monday we didn't have, being a different era of communication, we didn't have all of the facts
Oh, sure.
of this, how severe it really was. We knew the Arizona went down, and we were wondering about Rasmussen and Swiderski.